And this young man looked over at me and he said, "Well, Colonel, why don't you do something about it?" When I retired from the Army, I had a different career path planned. I was going to kind of ride off into the sunset, kind of fade away, as General MacArthur said in 1951. The famous General Doug MacArthur, old soldiers never die, they fade away. I was kind of going to ride off in the sunset because Rebbe and I have sacrificed so much for our country over the past 30 years. 12 moves, 12 years out of the country, 4 combat deployments, and on and on and on, many years in the field. But as I was retiring from the Army, I was taking stock of the condition of Pennsylvania and our nation, and that it was worse off than how I got it from my dad's generation. So I could not, in good conscience, just kind of fade away. But really, I was challenged by a young man. It was one of my last radio interviews in uniform to talk about foreign affairs and Russia specifically. And off air, I was complaining about, I was talking, the country's worse off, did my service make a difference? And this young man looked over at me and he said, "Well, Colonel, why don't you do something about it?" And that's what really propelled me to get into politics. So over the years in the United States Army, my leadership style obviously, developed quite a bit with experience and time. So as a young lieutenant in Germany, in West Germany during the Cold War on the East German Czechoslovakian border, it was one thing leading men from across the nation, but it was all a male unit at the time, 2nd Cavalry Regiment. The tip of the spear, we called it. If the Russians came, they told us we'd last about 45 minutes in combat. We'd be overwhelmed. That was really motivating for Rebbe and I to hear. But as you move on, and now you have people from larger units, companies with hundreds of folks, and organizations that's diverse and complex, multinational. And so this sort of experience here really helps somebody understand, to be empathetic and sympathetic with different points of view and being willing to talk with people. That's one thing that I'm really disgusted by in today's politics. My rival can just call names. And he's out there, very petulant, calling names, Mastriano is this or that. And he's never talking about what he's running on. For me, I have my issues that I believe in. I'm willing to sit down and discuss, logically, and personally with anybody who has good ideas or different ideas. And, Benjamin Franklin said politics is the art of the possible. So, the far side of any issue can never ever really get what they achieve. It's going to take some compromise and coming to the middle in many areas. And that's how we can work together to make Pennsylvania better.